Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we are going to talk specifically about Andrew Yang and two actions that are prompted from Andrew Yang because of the release of the 2019 live-action film Dora the Explorer. Dora the Explorer, excuse me. All right, all right, so let's talk about this. One, before we go a step further, spoiler warning, there are spoilers for the film Dora the Explorer, the 2019 live-action film Dora the Explorer in this content. All right, so I have seen the film, the Dora the Explorer, and this movie is hyper-focused on politics and human psychology, all right? And because it contains deep wisdom about politics and about human psychology, it prompts two actions that the 2020 U.S. presidential primary candidate, Andrew Yang, should take, right? And we're going to talk through those. All right, I want to set some stakes here. I want to kind of define some terms before we go forward. I'm specifically going to be talking today about neurotypicality. All right. Now, neurotypicality is an emerging understanding. It's a platform that is used within communities that are centrally focused on mental health. Okay, so it's a relatively new term. It's a relatively new emerging understanding that is really being used and leveraged within communities that are centrally focused on mental health. Let me define what neurotypicality is currently defined as. Right now, just be aware this is a new emerging understanding, and so this may get broader later, but this is currently how it's generally described by some of the people within those communities. Okay, so if you are neurotypical, that describes a person who has strong social and communication skills. Okay, it also describes someone who is neurotypical. Okay, psychologically neurotypical, they would have strong social and communication skills. They would navigate socially complex situations with ease. They would make friends with ease, and they could participate in loud, crowded, visually overwhelming settings with ease. That is a definition of neurotypicality. Okay, now the film Dora the Explorer is, of course, highlights Dora the Explorer, this character, right? And it's a fictional character, and Dora the Explorer in this film is presented specifically as neuroatypical, right? She has she has 4 specific behaviors that make her neuroatypical, right? It would be fair to apply it. Some people may apply the term neuroatypical to Dora the Explorer. Here's what she does. She talks to people that are not there. So she'll be in a conversation, and then she'll turn to a person that is not there and have a conversation with them and make a statement to them, right? She listens to animals, right? What did you say, Boots? Right? She listens to animals. She also talks to animals, right? And the last thing is she stares at people. She will just stop and stare at people, right? Now, these are neuroatypical behaviors that would make it difficult for you to have strong social and communication skills, that would make it difficult for you to navigate socially complex situations with ease, that might make it difficult for you to make friends with ease, that would make it difficult for you to participate in loud, crowded, visually overwhelming settings with ease. And all of these are shown in the film, right? It's shown immediately that she has trouble communicating with people, right? It's shown that she has challenges navigating socially complex situations, right? It's shown immediately that she has a lot of trouble making friends, right? And she makes an enemy almost immediately in the film, right? Also, there's a point in the film where she moves from South America. She migrates from South America to North America, to a North American high school, right? And in that North American high school, which easily could be described as a loud, crowded, visually overwhelming situation, she doesn't want to do that, right? So she's like, I can't participate in that, right? And she resists it, right? So she is very clearly presented within the film as neuroatypical, okay? All right, now, so you have this movie, Dora the Explorer. Let's talk about the political edges. We just talked about the psychological edges of this film. Let's talk about the political edges of this film. Woo! Okay. So basically, we're in the middle of a migration nightmare, right? We have a president who has made migration a point of division within Americans, right? What does Dora the Explorer say about migration from South America to North America? They show migration in the film as legal, and they show it for the daughter of Dora. They show it for the daughter of 2 South American knowledge workers. There you go, right? So Dora the Explorer really shows a very beautiful, very wonderful version that is happening today of legal migration happening from South America to North America, of children of knowledge workers, right? Like it's the exact opposite of what it shows what Trump is trying to disprove, right? And saying this is not something to be afraid of. When migration happens from South America to North America, we get wonderful, beautiful, kind, glowing people, right? Like that this is a good thing. This is not a thing that should be feared, right? It's very political film, Dora the Explorer. Okay, it also, like I said, goes deeply into this issue of human psychology, specifically talking at a very deep level about neurotypicality and neuroatypicality. Okay, all right. So, by the way, I want to just say a quick thank you. I've been studying neurotypicality for about a few months now, and it specifically came from Hannah Gadsby. Hannah Gadsby is an Australian philosopher who did a TED Talk. If you're not familiar with her work, get familiar. She is absolutely brilliant. You can find her material on YouTube and on Netflix. She's absolutely brilliant. You should definitely listen to Hannah Gadsby, the Australian philosopher who did a TED Talk on Netflix and YouTube. She's truly incredibly brilliant. All right, so what are the 2 actions that Dora the Explorer prompt specifically from, what are the 2 actions that it prompts from Andrew Yang? 2, right? 1, Andrew Yang should immediately go see Dora the Explorer. And the reason why is Dora the Explorer is a wonderful celebration of South American culture. It features Eva Longoria, Michael Pena, he is a national treasure of America, Benicio del Toro, Eugenio Derbez, and Danny Trejo, again a national treasure. It's a wonderful celebration of South American culture, and what would be better right now than to in a very capitalist way, just going to a movie theater, paying for your tickets and buying lots of popcorn for you and your family or whoever you could take. What better way to just, celebrate South American culture when we have a president who's trying to make sure that people are not celebrating South American culture? I think it's really important, right? So I think it's really important. So I think Andrew Yang should absolutely see this film. He should do it as a political movement, as a political action, because it would help, right? And we need help in these areas right now. Okay. What is the second one? All right. He should decide on whether America should invert psychology. All right, let's talk about it. This is huge, all right? So once you have seen Dora the Explorer and you understand what the film is saying at a deep level about politics and about human psychology, it makes you understand that we have an issue with psychology in America, okay? And I've been thinking about this for a while, and I've been thinking about neurotypicality for a few months, and Dora the Explorer has really helped me to understand it, right? So here's the issue. The issue is the neurotypicals in America are the problem, not the neuroatypicals, okay? That is what is shown through Dora the Explorer. Let's talk about it. Dora, okay, needs zero help. Dora does the following thing. She talks to people that aren't there. She talks to animals. She listens to animals, and she stares at people, okay? But Dora isn't the problem. Dora, shown in the film, is capable, resourceful, and intelligent. She needs zero help, right? And so, basically, right, here's where you understand where we're at, okay? Right now, we in America, and right now, Andrew, basically, all the candidates are saying, well, they would look at a neuroatypical person and they would say, okay, listen, all the candidates are saying mental health. I'm going to help you, neuroatypical people. I'm going to help people who need mental health help, right? But especially for neuroatypical people, right? Like Dora, right? We have been approaching this, and every single political candidate, 2020 U.S. presidential Democrat primary candidate is saying, hey, let's get ready, okay? We're going to take the neuroatypicals and get them on a couch and get them the help they need. Wrong. Andrew Yang needs to carefully decide, right? He needs to do the research, do the research, get back the evidence, right? And this will happen after he becomes president, right? But he can start thinking about it now. He can start doing the reading now, right? Do we invert psychology at the macro level in America? All right, so why and how would we do this, right? So how would Andrew Yang go about this, right? And should we go about this, right? So here's the issue, right? Right now, our society looks at neuroatypicals and we go, you have a mental health issue, you need to get on a couch and we're going to give you the help you need, right? And I think that's what Bernie is saying. That's what Kamala is saying. That's what that is what Bernie is saying. That's what Kamala is saying. That's what Biden is saying. That's what Sanders is saying. That's what Warren is saying, right? It's what Harris is saying, right? And the issue is it's kind, but it's wrong, right? And so I'm convinced that under Yang, we need to very carefully decide on whether we should invert psychology at the national level for America. So here's why. We would look at this and say, okay, we have this capable, resourceful, intelligent person, right? And I think there's low millions of them in America, right? But they have these behaviors, right, that make them neuroatypical, right? So we have been identifying them and saying, you need mental health, let's get you onto the couch where you need that help, right? And what I'm saying is that's wrong. That's wrong. That is wrong. We need to invert psychology at the national level, right? So basically what you would do is rather than taking capable, resourceful, intelligent people and putting them on the couch under psychology, you take psychology and you find a way to put the entire neurotypical population, the neurotypical one, right? All the people who have strong social and communication skills, all the people who navigate socially complex situations with ease, all the people who make friends with ease, all the people who can participate in loud, crowded, visually overwhelming settings with ease. And we put them on the couch at the national level because they are the problem. It's a fundamental new understanding of inversion. It's a fundamental new understanding of psychology, of human psychology, of American psychology. Right? And it's saying, no, the neuroatypicals are not the problem. The neurotypicals' response to neuroatypicals is the problem. And rather than sending neuroatypicals to the couch, we need to send the whole nation to a new couch. Now, clearly, you can't do that, right? Like you can't send everybody to the couch, right? So you have to find this new, incredibly distinct way to handle this. So how do you do that, right? And that is what Andrew Yang has to decide, right? He has to decide this. Do we invert psychology for the whole nation and find a new way to apply psychology? Not taking people who are perceived as problem people and putting them on the couch, but putting the whole nation on the couch. Now, why am I taking the time to talk to you about this? Because of Andrew Yang. Andrew Yang was mentored by Obama, right? He is every other candidate, Biden, Harris, Warren, Sanders, right? They're all turning knobs on the existing system. UBI fixes America at the economic level. It fixes it at the platform level. It fixes it at the macro level, right? No other candidate is talking about a platform change. He's talking about changing economics at a massive level in America and fixing the system at the base fundamental level, except Yang, right? So that's the point. Any other candidate, Sanders, Warren, Biden, Harris, all brilliant. They're not thinking at the macro level. They think at the micro level, right? So you can't go to them and say, hey, can you invert psychology in America? The entire psychological platform in America, and let's start fixing the neurotypicals rather than fixing the neuroatypicals. Only Yang gets this. This is why Yang has to be our next president, right? He can research this. He can make the decision. That's just one reason why I'm voting for Andrew Yang. I really think you should consider the same. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Do you think we should invert psychology at the American level and begin fixing the neurotypicals, not the neuroatypicals on the couch? Do we need to change what the couch is? I'd love to hear your opinions. Please let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.